explain that to me, how that drains? Is there a box and a grate over that?
There's a city standard for a paved snow storage area that we are required to implement. It's a 40 by 40 easement area minimum. And then I don't remember what the dimensions right offhand. I apologize, actually I have them right here. Of course, the details are not in the preliminary plan set, but I do have the paved snow storage. Did you receive the plans as part of your packet?
Yeah, they're in here.
I believe the paved snow storage is 40 foot deep by 20 foot wide. Is Alan here?
No, he's not here. We think it's 36 by 36.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Every city has a little bit different, so apologize.
Okay.
It's a standard that we implement on the plans based on the topography, and then usually those are required to drain. Sometimes they put the drainage down the middle back out to the city street, and so they're draining back out to the sidewalk, back out into the street, and then they're transferred to the stormwater swales. In this particular case, we built a swale around it, and so it's just sheet draining. It's not taking any of those oils and everything back into the street. It's just going right to the stormwater swale adjacent to it. So the city will have the ability to plow into that area and leave that snow storage in. And with that swale comes additional snow storage space as well. So we're dedicating a considerable amount more area than we need to, but addressing stormwater and snow storage at the same time.
So it's not going to impact the surrounding properties that aren't part of the subdivision?
Correct. Correct. It all, with development, one of the biggest requirements is making sure that stormwater is collected and retained on your property. And so we are collecting and retaining all the stormwater in the development. If there were regional facilities to collect that stormwater and transfer to a regional collection treatment area, then we would implement that. But the easiest way to do it, this area doesn't have a regional facility, so we're just transferring it to the stormwater swales in the development.
Okay. My other concern is, I understand that you're purchasing the right-of-ways on Maple. Kudos, but I'm wondering how everybody feels about those improvements not being made at the time of development.
I can jump in a little bit. So we went through cost estimates with them that Rob, our city engineer, did, and it was the cost to upsize that sewer main in that's to 18 inches to go in and a little bit deeper to make it work for the future. That's such a, I guess, gigantic benefit to the city to do that, and when he looked at the cost, it was pretty much a wash. So they've got some stuff on Maple. They don't own all of those properties, so there would still be just like a little piece of sidewalk and then another, just a gap, and then another little piece of sidewalk. So it'd be kind of two sidewalks to nowhere.
Okay.
So it was, I mean, we discussed it with Caitlin, and it was I thought that it was a good thing for the city to get that sewer main in.
In terms of planning and those costs, planning ahead, it's so significant to have the sewer pipe go this way instead of ripping up all of Panuka Drive. Not only to make it oversized, but over depth to replace what's in Panuka Drive. That takes a really big burden off of Public Works Department and engineering to have the sewer configured this way for the city. That's all, that's a big solution to the city
Right,
sewer
so
issues in this area.
It was kind of like, pay them for that, or have these two little pieces of sidewalk that don't go really anywhere. We could show it on the map.
Yeah, and I understand the disconnect and stuff, but with the sidewalk comes a little bit of more width on Maple.
Okay, yeah, we'll show it on a map, cause
Okay.
it would only be a tiny bit.
Okay.
If I could speak louder now too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, what we're purchasing is here of property that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary right away, that we didn't need that. We didn't need to provide this connection out
I understand that.
and then we didn't need to provide that there. So that's what's being purchased additional.
Scott, show her how that other little piece is a separate house there.
Here?
No,
Oh, this
Oh,
is,
the one just
Yeah.
south.
yeah,
of the
so this is
that's
about
a
90
separate
feet.
house too, so.
And so this frontage improvement, then we'd skip frontage improvement and then skip, and there'd be nothing else on the entire side of Maple. So going back to where we were last year, working for the city, this didn't exist here. This was the line, right? That didn't exist. We said our biggest concern is we can get up to, on 10 acres, we can get up to 30 plus lots, right? We didn't want to make that road out. So my client said, hey, look, we don't know how we're gonna fund it, but we're gonna go buy that additional property. We're gonna make it happen to do this. The city said, well, if you're gonna do that, then someday we really want a connection out to Maple. We said, how about we get rid of this Country Squire connection, provide that secondary outlet to Maple? And the school district was elated. They're like, yes, please don't give somebody a place to park next to the school. And we were excited about that. So that's the agreement. Again, the sewer, if we go back here, now I'm feeling like a professor. The sewer is gonna be extended here, that 18-inch sewer, and that cost, well, let me finish it there, out to Fanouken. That cost right there compared to, again, like Melissa mentioned, far outweigh or is equivalent, we'll go with, this cost here, and not the difference, that's just the difference, not the cost itself of the 18 inch, it's the difference between the 8-inch that we needed and the 18-inch to put that in. And the City Public Works said, oh no, we want that all day long. This isn't necessary, again, because of this jump and because of what exists up and down Maple.
But they are providing a right of way, so at some point we can get the sidewalk in.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the addition. Maple is such a tight road anyway. I'm just concerned about the.
Mary, do you have another question?
Can I ask my client to speak for just a second?
Yeah, there was actually another item. Ryan Stoker, 224 West Eagle Crest Drive, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. The school district asked us not to bring that right-of-way, their half of the right-of-way, and take part of their school property. And so then when Rob asked, hey, we'd really like an exit out to Maple, it said, okay, we don't want to burden the school. We were able to negotiate to get that east-west connector, and it kind of all just came together. So there was other reasons for why that occurred.
And and these connections and this agreement that we're trying to work out before we come forward to you took several months to do. It wasn't it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of talking to contractors and trying to forecast what those prices are. Again, national pipe shortage. There's just a lot of factors that are going in right now. So we put a lot of time and energy into it with the city, trying to make sure that we're making the best decision for the city. We understand the traffic concerns there with Maple and the narrowed street sections. And that's the outlet. We don't anticipate the entire development for some reason coming out to.
Hold on, we're gonna go through the rest of the commissioners, to see if there are any questions. Brad, do you have questions?